Welcome to the Iyashisa training game. This interactive board game was commissioned by the Mine Health and Safety Council and was developed and tested with 5 mines and unions in South Africa. The interactive game is designed to be used with mine workers of all levels of experience in order to teach knowledge and skills in the prevention and management of heat stress. It will also promote teamwork and discussion within a fun and competitive game process. Real-life scenarios and questions are presented to the teams through the use of cards, and players are rewarded with mining moolah for correct answers. The learning objectives include to understand the main strategies to prevent heat stress underground. This covers the screening of workers, hydration guidelines, work pace and fitness, and environmental monitoring. Secondly, players should be able to recognize signs and symptoms of heat stress, exhaustion, and heat stroke. Thirdly, the players should understand the immediate management of a co-worker who has heat stress. And finally, participation in the game will build teamwork and a sense of caring for co-workers in the work environment. Ideally, the game should be played on a small table surrounded by chairs for 4 to 12 players in a quiet room. The components of the game include the board, which has 3 different colors of squares representing the mine surface area, the traveling ways, and the mine working face or stope. There are stones that serve as the counter for each player or group of players and a dice to throw. There is a pack of cards with questions in 3 languages: English, Sesotho, and isiZulu. The numbered cards are color-coded according to the area of the mine applicable. The answer sheet has a list of the answers based on the card number. The mining moolah is money awarded to players for getting an answer correct. A booklet with an explanation of the answer to each question to be used by the facilitator to discuss and explain the answer where necessary. There may be stickers available. These are for each player to receive after playing to show that they have completed the game. It could be stuck on their hard hat. The rules sheet explains the board setup, how to play, and how the game ends. The game components are kept together in a durable box. The game can be played by individuals, 4 to 8 with 1 facilitator, or in teams with 2 to 4 teams of 2 to 4 players in each team. That means up to 16 can play on the board in teams. At the beginning, the facilitator needs to be chosen. An experienced worker or a mine trainer would be suitable. The facilitator will not be competing and is in charge of the answer sheet and the mining moolah. He or she also guides the discussion and gives explanations from the answer booklet when appropriate. The cards are placed in the middle of the board. Limited cards can be selected, basic, intermediate, or advanced if the players are all at 1 level, or the whole pack can be played with. Each player or team is given 500 mining moolah at the beginning of the game. To start the game, each player or team chooses a playing stone or counterpiece and places on entry and throws the dice. The highest one goes first. The number on the dice is the number of squares moved along the path. Depending on the color of the square, the corresponding color card is taken from the top of the pile and the question is read by a player or facilitator. The player or team give their answer and the facilitator checks if it is correct by referring to the answer sheet. If correct, the player or team receives 100 mining moolah, but if incorrect, receives no money. The card is then returned to the bottom of the pile and the next player or team have a turn. If the counter lands on a warning sign, it is a free space and no card is picked up, but the meaning of the sign is discussed. If the counter lands on a block with an instruction such as move forward 2 spaces, This is done before a card is picked up. The first player or team to reach the exit receives a bonus of 200 mining moolah, and the game ends immediately. The winner is the player or team with the most mining moolah at the end of the game. There are sometimes difficulties in the running of the game. If the players are taking too long while others are getting bored, there is a disagreement about the correct answer, or the players get upset and overly competitive, or the facilitator dominates and teaches. Whatever the problem is, it is the role of the facilitator to immediately encourage players to not take more than 1 to 2 minutes to answer a question, and to respect all other players during the game. It is possible that different minds have different guidelines on some things, so the facilitator should accept answers that are correct for that specific mind and therefore may be different from the answer sheet one. If players get too upset or angry, the facilitator needs to remind them it is just a game to learn from and bring an end to the argument or issue causing anger. The facilitator needs to be guided by the trainer to not be directive and dominate, but to rather let the players debate before the facilitator gives the correct explanation. The game could be played in a different way, or some components used in isolation as a teaching tool. For example, the board could be used by itself to orient new workers to the areas of the mine and the protective equipment such as boots, lamps, etc. And the heat tolerance screening process can be explained.
And some of the people...
The cards and the answer book could be used without the board as a short quiz exercise during toolbox safety talks at the beginning of a shift. The whole game could be adapted by developing a different set of cards with questions on another topic, for example, dust management.